Garcia.
Hate me or love me. You watched. That's all you could do.
And 1080.
Who do you think you are?
The Fan.
Good morning. Welcome into Football Sunday, the most important football Sunday of the year. I am Joe Fisher III. Across the faux marble table is Rashad Taylor.
Let's go. That's all I got to say. LFG, man.
And across the glass, Jordan Schultz. As I had mentioned, it is the final Football Sunday, but yet most important Football Sunday of the year because it is Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm not trying to advertise anything, so I don't have to call it the big game, right? I can call it the Super
correct.
Bowl.
Yes, that is correct.
God.
We can legally call it the Super Bowl. We don't have to call it the super ultra mega many times yards touchdown game.
Get ready for your big game party. Like, shut up.
Yes, but yes, that's something where hey, listen, NFL's a company, and if they can get a couple lawsuits out there and rack up the cash because of people's negligence and saying the Super Bowl when advertising their company or business or their sale, then so be it. I get it. Get yours. But that's a dumb rule right there. Not being able to say, like, we all know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. I mean, it's also super. I mean, if you're the NFL, like everybody's making money off of you and off of the name. I mean, seriously, if you put Super Bowl anything in front of something, you're going to get traction for the most part. If your local bar right now has a Super Bowl party today, like they're gonna get more people there because it's the Super Bowl.
Well, imagine some like small little corner dive bar or sports bar somewhere in in Tigard or something like that, and they're like, "Come to our Super Bowl party." And NFL's like, "Nah,
No, shut that
Can't
down.
do it.
Shut that
you're
down.
done. $500,000 fine, please, and you're out of business."
Yeah, I don't think I think some of those small moms and pops can get away with it, right?
I don't think they can.
I know, seriously.
They
I
got
think for one day
they got
might be able to
NFL
get away with
ops
it.
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know, in Portland, maybe. I don't know. I don't
The
think so. I don't
FBI
think
would
anybody
show
cares.
up.
Shut it down. I don't think anybody cares about Portland like that as far as NFL. I could be wrong, but
If there's money to be made, the NFL cares.
Yeah.
Let me just say that.
yeah,
It could be
that's for sure.
It could be Carson
the former-
City,
the former
Nevada,
nonprofit.
bro. Yeah, just like out in the middle of the desert, and it's an NFL party, and there is some like
There's
NFL
gambling
related
there.
cop or investigator there to slap him with a fine.
but it is Super Bowl Sunday.
We can say it.
Yes, we can
We
say it.
can.
We will have a fun little day here on Super Bowl on Football Sunday. Kind of like what we did last year. We will have Dusty Hera via telephone, 9:30. And then at 10 o'clock, still waiting for him to text me back and say that he's good to go. Jason Sakanik, Big Sook, will be
Nice.
on the line at 10 o'clock. So figured that we do a little bit of what we did last year, having some of the weekday shows on the Super Bowl show for you guys out there. But I don't know about you guys and your excitement level for this Super Bowl, but I did have to ask the people out there, what is the GOAT Super Bowl food? What is, and also this is a good time if you want to text into the show, Vancouver Ford text line 503-864-6326. That's 503-864-6FAN. What is your go-to Super Bowl meal? I think that the GOAT Super Bowl food, it comes down to one of four choices.
Mhm.
Nachos, wings, pizza, booze. And yes, I'm counting booze as a food.
Does
I
the
thought you
wheat
said
in the beer
boobs. I
count?
was like, wait, okay.
Boobs!
Boobs on Super Bowl. Well, are they still doing the bikini game before this actual
Well,
Super Bowl?
I don't know, but if Carl's Jr. has
As any commercial, then there would definitely be boobs.
Oh,
have you been seeing their commercial lately?
They
For
went
the
back.
course.
They went
I
back.
know, yeah.
Thank
I
God.
lost it. I love it.
I couldn't believe it. I had to do the whole Super Troopers zoom enhance.
Her lips look a little
Zoom,
too fake.
Enhance.
Enhance.
Well, I missed the I missed the
Her
natural
lips,
look.
yes, her lips are the
They
ones that are
look
fake.
faker than the rest of her.
Yeah, just the lips.
I'm
on
not
there
saying that the
being
rest doesn't,
fake.
but come on, it's obvious.
And I love how Schultze was just looking at the lips in that.
Just the lips
Yeah.
only.
Seriously.
Is
Disgusting,
that her
right?
natural hair color?
No, seriously.
But yeah, Carl's Jr.
She's not a blonde.
definitely
I don't
re-
mind a blonde dye job. Shoot.
definitely reverting back to late 90s, early 2000s don't give an F era.
I like it.
The
Doesn't
attitude
get all
era.
over the
Yeah, what was her
place.
name? Like
Doesn't belong
Charlotte
in your
something.
face.
The Carl's Jr.
I don't know.
Model back in the day.
Hot Girl 1. That's what she shows up in the
Charlotte McKinney. Yeah, no, that's
Charlotte
who it was.
McKinney.
Charlotte
And
McKinney.
Has she done anything else other than those?
Probably not.
Yeah,
she was
Carl's
a
Jr.
model and
commercials?
actress who first gained attention on Instagram and then eventually appeared in a Carl's Jr. ad in 2015. That's it.
Well, to revert back to food and not boobs, the so far leading the 1080 fan poll question, wings,
It's
Ah, yeah.
43.3%. I will say this though, this could be a controversial take. Buffalo wings, to me, not even a top 5 wing flavor.
Like barbecue, or what do you?
No,
I mean,
like-
there's
like buffalo
Like
flavor,
the buffalo
100 hot.
sauce. Yes, like the
I don't
buffalo
know,
sauce.
Man. I'm
I would rather have like
purist.
a lemon pepper. I'd go lemon pepper Lou.
Mm.
I'd go garlic parmesan. I'd go a barbecue wing. I would go maybe if we're going just if baseline is Buffalo Wild Wing flavors, like an Asian zing, like a teriyaki wing, something like that. That's only 4, so maybe Buffalo does make the top 5.
Yeah, see, here's the cool part.
I don't know any other flavors.
This is where I'm a weirdo, is because I only like ranch or blue cheese with buffalo flavored wings.
Oh, yeah,
Like, I feel
just
like
classic.
It's swimming in
Yeah,
ranch or buffalo.
I feel like
blue
yeah.
cheese.
I feel like eating lemon pepper with ranch. There's something weird and gross about it, and so I
You
don't get
can
any other
honestly, lemon
flavors.
pepper is sometimes just good by itself.
It's absolutely
Damn
good by
right.
itself. But yeah, I love buffalo. Like that's one of those things. It has to be there. Because everybody except for Joe loves hot. Like those hot wings
Whoa.
is like
I love hot food.
No,
but
I'm saying the hot wings. Not hot food, but I'm saying those
I don't know.
particular. Like those are goated, man.
the buffalo flavored stuff to me is just I don't know, I think it's a little overrated.
I mean, that's
I think it's the Jalen Hurts
that
of wing sauce.
out of line,
that's
man.
kind of the old school flavor now. Since I really think like B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings brought 30 different flavors
Oh,
plus to our
mhm.
palates.
How could I
right?
forget some like jerk wings?
Oh my god!
Absolutely.
I mean, come
or
on.
some spicy peanut or something like that.
By the
There are a
way,
lot of ones.
best life hack ever: the garlic parm sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings. You can
At
buy that
Fred
in,
Meyer.
in the
or
bottle
somewhere.
at Fred Meyer or even Costco sometimes. Mix that with some sour cream, and you have the best dip for chips and veggies that you could. I'm serious, that you could ever imagine.
I'm
I'm
glad
the
you said
pasta, too.
dip because when at first you said like the bottle of that and sour cream, I was just envisioning you eating it like it was
Just,
soup.
yeah.
No,
Just
put it on a
just-
chip.
Yeah.
Do that, fatty.
Just
and it's good.
Wolfing down some garlic parm sauce and sour cream. Just
Knocking it down.
Make
I love it.
That's disgusting.
I'm looking at some
Ugh.
other wing flavors now. Now, granted, this is like a random random restaurant. So, I mean, a classic dry rub. Just
Oh,
smoke,
yeah.
smoke them things.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Some
Again.
Cajun dry rub or
I like me some saucy. Really,
You know.
I prefer the saucy. Extra.
I mean,
sauce.
it depends on really lemon pepper is the one thing that is like, as far as dry rubs, like I'll take that.
I mean, for
That's
God's sakes, it had Lou Williams willing to kill his fellow NBA
Those were
cohorts
Those were lemon
for
pep-
leaving the bubble.
But that was lemon pepper with the sauce though.
Yeah, the different type of sauce.
And boobs.
That's the
And boobs. And it comes full
listen,
circle.
We've had this conversation already, and I challenge you guys, and I'm almost for certain you'll never do it because I don't know how, if you're ever going to end up in an Atlanta or end up in a Miami or something like that, and more than that, end up in
Me?
like the black neighborhood.
Do you
Yeah.
see my complexion?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And more than that, end up in like a black neighborhood.
I was at a
there.
White Castle in Cleveland. So
I was
if
on
you're
it.
ever on
That's
the
cool.
road, maybe
Yeah,
it's about the
cool.
closest
I was
I've
on
been.
MLK last weekend. Does that count?
It does not
Oh.
anymore at least. But no, I'm telling you, like for those who haven't heard it before, Atlanta and Florida and some Texas strip clubs have the
food?
best food. People go to Acrop all the time for the steak bites.
Yeah.
That's the one. You go to the Acropolis because you get steak bites and everything. And those are like renowned around Portland. Like everybody's like, oh man, we're going there to get steak bites. It's like one of the things. You look at boobs, get some steak bites. Like that's what you do at Acrop.
Boobs.
You can get steak, lobster, shrimp for like $20. And it's a nice little set with
okay.
a baked potato, a salad. It's like, yo, this isn't supposed to happen at a strip club. But and mind you, the strip club is not the strip club there. It's the club. It's just where everybody lives. They don't go to, I don't know, what's the club out here in Portland?
Club?
You don't go to Copper
Portland?
Penny.
Club in Portland?
Yeah, they don't go to,
What's
one
the
of
one that got
bars out
shot
here.
up like 10 years ago? Spice? Is that what was
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Was that the one
Yeah.
over in Chinatown?
But
there?
see, but imagine like everybody being there. You see people from work and everything else because like that's the nightclub. It's not the strip club. It's the nightclub. That's where everybody's going to just kind of kick it. There just
Yeah.
happens to be strippers there.
No, but I can't mix the strippers and food thing.
I
That just I
guarantee
can't do it.
If you're feeling it and you're feeling good and you're tossing ones and getting a nice little lap dance, you're gonna put down some money to get some food, especially once you see somebody else's come out. That's the thing. It's like the sizzling fajita walking past your table. You're like, oh, what's that? You
You know,
hear it and like, oh my God.
I'm
what
gonna
is
order
that?
a half a gallon of Patron, or a half a gallon, excuse me, half a pint, whatever.
Jeez, I
They
was
the,
gonna say,
they
whoa.
don't serve the full bottles at the clubs, but
My
they serve like
God.
the halfy
Yeah,
bottles.
we're really going for it, huh?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll just hit up some fourth meal after the club. Get
Telling
myself
you.
a crunch wrap.
Yeah, you
know?
get that
Yeah.
crunch wrap. I'm gonna eat this steak and shrimp right
Now
here.
listen, that all sounds great. Like when you're like steak and shrimp and lobster, I'm like, oh, you got me. And then you're like for $20, and I'm like, okay,
I'm
that's.
telling you, man.
I am very much
I'm telling
questioning
you,
the
it
quality.
sounds crazy. It sounds it's right.
of
That's-
this,
that's what-
like-
the whole thing sounds insane, right? That's what I said. When I went there, I was like, no, that can't be real. That shrimp can't be good. It has to be mushy. No, I'll be damned if this wasn't good food. You ever expected some food to be trash and had it and was like, oh man,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty good, man. Like, who knew? That's what it was.
It's
And
like
so I understand.
65% of my dinner.
So I understand.
I'm like, oh,
And
this
listen,
is gonna
all the
suck.
places Lou Williams
Like,
could have went in
whoa.
Atlanta, all the places he could have went to get some food, he went there, and that's I guarantee a lot of people from the town or that are from Atlanta or from somewhere down south, Mississippi, wherever they do that, will tell you the same thing. Like the food is legit.
Am I neglecting any Super Bowl foods? I mean,
Sliders, I think, are something
burgers
that
and
got
dogs,
yeah,
yeah, I was gonna
burgers,
say.
I think sliders have
anything
become,
on the barbecue.
Yeah. I'm a big. I don't know about you guys, but like egg rolls or lumpia rolls or whatever you want to kind
Yeah.
of call them, because you can put anything really inside of them. Like that's what I've kind of learned. So
I
I
love
kind
me
of match with the cheesesteak one, and maybe just a regular kind of lumpia roll, and some other stuff. So usually put anything that's rolled up and deep fried.
Yeah, like a jalapeno popper.
Jalapeno
blunt.
poppers, yeah.
There you
Bingo.
go.
A
A lot of those
deep-fried
being consumed
blunt.
today.
How about that? Stick
Um,
on that.
I've done pigs in a blanket at a lot of parties that I've either hosted or been to. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like
do some-
somebody always brings the pigs in
Do
a
some little
blanket.
Little
smokies.
smokies.
in
yeah,
the
little
crock
or
pot.
just little
Yeah.
smokies in the crock pot as well.
What I
Oh
think
my God,
I will
yes.
be doing today, I will be going out. You want to talk about being white? I will be heading out to Willamina today.
Oh, you are
white.
going
yeah.
white.
with my brethren.
It's nice though.
I mean,
The casino's
it's nice because my sister lives there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's
nice.
really the
It's a
only
nice
reason
getaway.
to go there. So I'll be hanging out with her, brother-in-law, niece, nephew. I was talking actually about this with Boss Man Cooley and
Boss Man Cooley.
I know
fun to say.
That's a good ring to
our
it, yeah.
boss's boss.
Fun to say.
And then Kurt is that my family love him to death, but no one is down to go to the casino and actually sit down at the blackjack table with me. They're always like, "Yeah, I'll go with."
Nobody rich like you, Joe. Nobody wants to go.
I'm
out
not
there
even
and
rich.
lose their money.
You kidding me?
If I were there, I would absolutely go. That would be a fun way to spend Super Bowl Sunday.
My brother-in-law, who I think is listening
Probably
right
have
now,
a nice little sports book. I mean, or at least
At
a
Spirit
little
Mountain,
area.
absolutely.
yeah, they have one.
Yeah.
They
My
have a great one.
I
brother-in-law,
haven't been there yet. So.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
he's always like, "Yeah, if you need someone to go with, I'll go with." I'm like, "No, I want someone to go
To
with
play.
and play
have
blackjack
some
with me and
fun.
sit down, and not look over my shoulder and laugh at me when I
like,
lose my money."
Are you my wife? Like, no, sit down and play with me, man.
Yeah.
And then my sister, what was it? 2 Christmases ago, we all did kind of like the kids are at the house and doing a sleepover, and me and my other sister go over there, and so it was like it was me, my 3 sisters, nieces, nephews, everyone, and one of them, Ashley, my sister, she's down to get down, like she likes to have a good time. And so leading up to it, I was like, "Dude, let's go to Spirit Mountain. Let's go
Yeah.
have a time." And she's like, "Oh, I'm all about it. Totally, let's do it." Day comes, we're hanging out. I don't know. Let's just hang out at that.
That's usually how it goes.
I'm like,
Balloon
you effing suck.
No, the flakes can't stand them.
Like, I've been looking forward to this for a week.
I'm like,
you
ugh.
suck.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna have to be around these bratty, fart-filled kids for the next 3-4 hours. Let's escape and lay down some blackjack bets. But she's not about that life. I realized that.
Yeah, that sucks, man. So
Um,
now, are you gonna go by yourself or?
today, no, I'm not going to the casino by myself.
I was gonna say there's something real. Only a degenerate goes to the casino alone and like sits at the table. Hit me one
No,
more.
absolutely
One more.
not.
All in.
What?
Cashes in their watch. Goes tries to sell their watch real quick. Like, yeah. Hey, got some really nice
Just
jewelry here.
Put the watch on what is it? What's roulette? Is it odds black or evens black?
Mm.
You can do odds and even.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
think odds are
different
black.
colors. You can do
Even
odds and
odds are red,
evens
I think.
or red or
This is
black.
why I don't go
Yeah.
to the. Why I don't go by myself.
You can
This
do
is
the
why I
first-
literally
Yeah.
only play
I think
blackjack.
blacks is even.
You can do the first, second, and third like set of 12 numbers in roulette.
You can win a
let
lot
it
of
go,
ways
yeah.
in roulette.
Yeah,
That's
they
why
let
kind
you
of
do
why I
whatever
like
you want.
playing roulette. You can win a lot of ways.
Yeah, but also you can like. There's a lot of ways to
There-
lose.
There are.
You
there
can play
are,
four
but-
numbers at once. Yeah, you can
I
play
just
one
say,
number. Yeah.
You know,
No.
put something on black. Put something on like. Hey,
And then when you lose all four, you're like, how? Well, damn.
Well, damn. But I
I
can hit
must
one of those
suck.
four. Like those odds are better than poker.
You don't suck. The casino wins. That's just kind of how it goes.
That's why I like blackjack. I feel like there is some better odds, better chances, and more control of your destiny in blackjack.
Poker. Texas Hold'em would be the best game for the player as compared to the house because they're only taking a rake of each like pot essentially.
I realize I don't have the patience for Texas Hold'em anymore.
Really?
Waiting for a good hand to play.
Yeah,
and
online poker's kind of killed that for everybody, hasn't it?
having to wait for your hand is just, if you have to like fold 3 in a row, and then, when you're the big blind, obviously you usually check everything and you're in small blind, you don't call,
Oh,
but
well, I know how you play.
So
Let's
truth
go.
moment, fellas. I've only played poker a few times. I like it, but I don't like.
I
don't
used
love
to
it.
be
I don't need to.
poker parties growing up in high school
You
and
play
stuff.
spades?
I mean,
You know, play spades.
No.
what about hearts?
I'm Native American. I'm not
Eh,
black.
It's not the same. Not the same.
What about hearts? Isn't that the
Yeah.
one on the computer?
I used to
Mhm.
play hearts with my grandpa growing up. Yeah.
But today I'll probably be making some jalapeno poppers.
Those are always good.
Yeah, I need some of those too.
If I have enough time,
Yeah.
we
Wait,
gotta
like
go to Home
homemade?
Depot.
Yeah.
You going
know,
homemade or you
Bed,
going,
Bath and
like-
Beyond?
Grabbing from the store.
Oh, homemade, yeah.
Damn.
I'll make the filling with some chorizo or sausage,
Oh, look at you.
and then wrap it up in some bacon.
Oh man, you're really going for it.
But again, if my brother-in-law is listening and he's hearing me talk about all this, and I don't show up with the jalapeno poppers, and he's gonna be like, "Dude, what the hell?"
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably just get some fruit or
Oh.
something.
He is
Keep
listening
it-
because he just told me that my sister, who he's married to, is good at blackjack. So she's the one that needs to be going with me to
Oh,
Get
casino.
some
man.
skills
Yeah,
at the
she better Get
table.
out there then.
What
next
the
time.
hell? But I got 2 poll questions up on the 1080 The Fan Twitter account, X account. You can also follow any of us at JoeFish3, FISCH. Rashad is at TaylorMade503. Jordan is on the air Jordan, DON. On the air Jordan, JORDON. But my 2 poll questions: what is the GOAT Super Bowl food? Wings, running away with it right now. And then, who wins Super Bowl LIX? We will give you the current results for that poll question, and we get into the big game next. We're gonna have Dusty Hare at 9:30, and it is confirmed Jason Zukanik, Big Sook at 10 o'clock. We will get things going here on the Super Bowl edition, the final football Sunday of the year on 1080 The Fan.
Sports Sunday with Rashad and Joe on Portland's Sports Leader, 1080 The Fan.
Super Bowl is today. Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, the 1080 The Fan poll question, who wins Super Bowl LAX? 59.2% say the Chiefs are going to win. 40.8% say the Eagles. Now, I will say the lead up to this Super Bowl, it has been a lot of this Super Bowl 6. I don't want to watch this. I'm not even going to watch this Super Bowl. Which, I get it. You know, this is a matchup we had 2 years ago. Two dislike teams and franchises. Nobody wants to see the Chiefs win 3 in a row. The Eagles have one of the worst fan bases, really annoying head coach. Probably the only likable thing about them is Saquon Barkley. But I will say, take all that away, and you look at this from a purely football standpoint, fantastic matchup. You have one of the most dynamic, one of the most impressive quarterbacks of our generation in football history going up against the number 1 defense in the NFL this year, and that is Patrick Mahomes versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And then on the other side of the ball, you have the most talented offensive roster going up against Steve Spagnuolo and this defense that just seems to come up with the right game plan for every single team, no matter what the occasion is. Again, both sides of the ball, it's one of those, something's got to give. And I am very curious to see what that is. Again, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, that offense, Andy Reid, when you really look at the position by position breakdown of both these teams, there is really only 2 to 3 positional advantages that the Chiefs have in this game. And that is at quarterback, kicker probably, and then not so much position, but they have the coaching advantage.
I would give them tight end as well if we're talking.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to
Chiefs,
go tight end for that.
Yeah.
If you
if we're talking receiver, like
receiving core, if you combine, tight ends and receivers, you're going to give it to the Eagles. I mean, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert is, I mean, he's top 10, top 5 tight end in the league, But, I mean, Travis Kelce, he always shows up during this time of year.
He's always open.
But again, this is very similar to last year's game as well, where one team, top to bottom, has the talented roster. But those damn Chiefs, man, they seem to pull it out. And I'm just very intrigued. There's a reason this game is to a 1.5 point difference. I believe still the line really hasn't moved all that much this week.
I'm looking at ESPN. It says 1 right now, so it's basically down
gotten even closer then. Again, when I try to take my fandom, my bias, who I'm rooting for out of this and look at it from a purely football standpoint, this is a great matchup.
It is. I'm not excited for it because I like the Eagles. I can't stand Eagles fans. I just don't like the Chiefs at all. But this is going to be a great football game. And if what you're looking for is a great football game, I think that's what this is going to be. This is classic best offense versus best defense, and that's kind of where we are right now when we have a guy like Patrick Mahomes on one end who just continues to just show up and win games. And when you have Andy Reid, who just, I think we can all remember when he was called the one that just couldn't get it done. And now he's trying to win his 3rd straight, which is super, super crazy. Like everything, it seems really set up for this team to win, if I'm being honest, but on the other side, you've got all this talent, even in the defense is amazing. The offense is, man, very, very good. And especially because you have a Saquon Barkley who can make something out of nothing. Sometimes he's had some incredible runs. And honestly, I think he's going to have a lot of those today. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be breaking for a 60-yard touchdown like he was doing in the last couple of playoff games he's had, but I think he's going to have a big game on the ground. But it's really going to come down to this really great offensive line of the Chiefs against this really great defensive line for Philadelphia. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Steve Spagnuolo versus Kellen Moore. That's what it's at the end of the day. That's what it's going. I'm not so much concerned about the Chiefs' ability to move the ball and score. I think they'll struggle at first because they seem kind of slow to start every drive. Very few drives this Chiefs start with an instant touchdown. It does sometimes, but it's a slow burn. Like they usually go 3 and out once and then come back and they found their mojo, and that's when things kind of take off for them. So I'm not so much worried about their offense. I am worried about what that defense, is able to do. Although, like you said, Joe, they make plays when they need to. They just keep kind of showing up. But I don't know if they've had a running back like the Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders kind of combined. That's what you kind of have in Saquon Barkley. Somebody that sees the hole and knows how to get there. He's so small and he's compact, so you can't just tackle him head up like you could any big guy. He's work done too because he's so damn small out there on the field. Like, it's a real mismatch for a lot of people. And so I'm just curious how those corners, more than that, because once he gets to that edge, like, are those corners and are those outside linebackers going to be able to stop him or get there? Once he gets to that second level, it's pretty much a wrap from there.
Yeah, that's the matchup that I think is going to be the most intriguing. And this, again, when you go back to the coaching advantage, like, that's where I give the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt. Like,
hands down.
I mean, Kellen Moore is a great offensive coordinator.
His foot's already out the door.
Yeah, but I'm taking Spags over Kellen Moore 10 times out of 10.
Well, it's Charles Nagy,
for sure.
too, on the offensive side for Kansas City, right? After the Bears fired him a couple years ago, I believe he's still with the Chiefs as their OC.
Yes.
So they've had that system in place with
Matt
Kansas
Nagy.
City. Matt Nagy. Thank you. I got the last name right. No, but that system has been in place. The thing about offensive coordinators in the NFL is they are changed almost as often as guys' shirts. And that is one thing that Kansas City has done better than almost everybody else is consistency in that position.
Retain people.
And retaining the same
Which is
system.
hard when you win. Like, once you win and continue winning, like, you see Detroit has not even won a Super Bowl, and all their assistants were like, all right, y'all, I'm out. I'm going to go do other things. So will Detroit look as good as they did for the past few years? Who knows? They're going to have a new regime there. But the Chiefs have been able to retain all of their most of their coordinators. And so, consistency is key. And when you have guys that are on the way out the door, or they're trying to really position themselves to get head coaching jobs elsewhere, then yeah. And we know Kellen Moore has been up for that New Orleans job this year.
It's like one of the worst kept secrets right now.
I hate that Adam Schefter. He wanted to drop that news late so bad last night. He was just waiting for that second or third source.
Yeah.
That's probably bullshit. It's not really a source, but he can call it a source. But as far as Kansas City versus Philly goes, you're looking at efficiency on Kansas City's side versus explosiveness on the Philadelphia Eagles side, right? Kansas City, I believe they've won 17 one-score games in a row. That's just an unbelievable stretch. I don't think anybody in NFL history has ever done that. And you're looking at like dinks and dunks all the time on offense for them. That's kind of how Kansas City works. But over on the Philly side, explosive offense. They've got Saquon Barkley. They've got Brown. They've got Devontae Smith. And also on the defensive side, one of the top defenses in the league under Vic Fangio after his last season in Miami coming to Philly.
Literally the best defense in the league this year.
And the best at stopping those dink and dunk passes. So can they stop the yards after catch? Can they get onto the line of scrimmage? Because Pat Mahomes doesn't spend more than 2 seconds in the pocket. That's one reason why Kansas City's so successful.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tooney doesn't have to do much. Even if he's playing guard or tackle, it doesn't matter. Everyone's like, oh, like they're a genius because they can interchange. Like, no, I think it's more the fact that they're geniuses because they have allowed a system to flourish in which Pat Mahomes doesn't have to spend more than 2 seconds with the ball. However, that means they must have success in some scrambles by Pat Mahomes out of the pocket and those little short passes. So can Philly stop that? I think that's going to be the story of today's game. We all know that Saquon's going to run a lot, but hey, Kansas City's run defense is one of the best in the NFL as well. So I don't know. Will they be able to? I don't think they've given up more than like 10 big run plays all season or something. I was reading a stat about Kansas City's run defense. So, like, can they limit the big play on Philly's end? And then can Philly limit those little dink and dunk plays on Kansas City's end? I think those are the stories of today's game.
Well, let's take a break and let's get Dusty Hare on here. Dusty hosts Monday through Fridays, noon to 3. I'm sure you already knew that because you wouldn't be listening to us just because, wow, you know what? I like 1080 The Fan because of Football Sunday. No, those guys lay the foundation so that way we can have a good time here on Sunday. And let's get the host, Dusty the Fan Man Hara, here to talk about the Super Bowl next here on Football Sunday. But first, Jordan Schultz with the SportsCenter update.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on 1080 The Fan.
First on the fan, Portland Trailblazers losing, getting their 6-game winning streak snapped by the Minnesota Timberwolves last night. 114-98, the final. Decent showing for Anthony Simons, 21 points. Shaden Sharp adding 14 off the bench. Jeremy Grant had 14 as well, but pretty bad shooting night for your Blazers, ending up 7 of 35 from three-point range and only scored 14 points total in the fourth quarter. Other big news out of the NBA, the Lakers and Hornets have nixed a deal in which Mark Williams was going to be sent from Charlotte to Los Angeles for Dalton Connect. The failed physical by Mark Williams was the reason that Los Angeles said no to the deal. In college basketball, the Ducks losing at the hands of number 9 Michigan State in a Big Ten matchup, 86-74 the final. And of course, today is Super Bowl Sunday. The 59th iteration of the Super Bowl being played today at 3:30 p.m. on Fox. Kansas City, a 1-point favorite, and some late NFL news dropping last night. The Saints are expected to hire Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore as their next head coach. Of course, that cannot be officially announced until after the game. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
One number does it all for contests and texting your favorite fan shows. Joe Fisher on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
All right. We are trying to get Dusty here on the phone. It'd be a very 1080 The Fan type thing if he just did not answer.
Dusty ain't messing with us right now. What you mean?
I confirmed on
Dusty's
Friday.
too famous for us.
Is he?
He's hella famous.
No.
Dusty's everywhere.
I love Dusty. I was chopping it up with him a couple days ago, talking to him about what I need to do to increase Joey's agility and quickness. Because he had Joey on a line, like a 0 to 40, you know? He's got some speed to just go.
Right.
But getting Joey to accelerate, decelerate, cut, go, all that, So Dusty, being the wide receiver head coach at Banks, I believe wide receiver head coach and offensive coordinator. I don't know. Actually, we have Dusty on the phone right now, so I can ask Dusty, what the hell do you coach at Banks? Is it wide receivers? Is it offensive coordinator? I forget.
Yeah, I'm just wide receivers coach.
Wide
Yes,
receivers.
wide receivers coach. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. I don't need too much responsibility out there.
Well,
Let's
I will tell
just
you
score
that
tutties and block.
I will tell you, you probably coach a lot more for the wide receivers than what happened at Sherwood in my day as a wide receiver, playing in the wing tee offense. Let me tell you, not a lot of opportunities coming my way as a wide receiver.
I can assure you there is
wing
more.
tee offense.
Oh yeah, I heard. Hey, a friend of mine is a good friend of Dusty's. Well, actually, a former teammate of Dusty's, and he tells me, man, Dusty was actually pretty dope in college.
Oh, down at Southern, huh?
Timmy
That's what he tells
G,
me.
Tim
That
Greenidge.
is my guy Timmy G.
Let's
Yeah, shout out
go.
to my guy Tim. Yeah, he says Dusty was actually kind of legit. I was like, okay, that's awesome.
He will teach
I
you
love
how to
Tim.
pepper step with the best.
Yeah, right.
Dusty, appreciate
Oh.
you coming on today, though, for our Super Bowl edition of Football Sunday. Getting right into it, man. I mean, we are talking about the individual matchups and the unit matchups, the Steve Spagnuolo defense going up against the Eagles, the number 1 rated Eagles defense going against Patrick Mahomes. But as far as like positions go, what do you think is going to be the most pivotal in this game that's going to weigh the difference and make the biggest impact on the game?
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about it. I can hear it, but it's like it is in the trenches, right? I mean, think of the guys that you have: Jalen Carter, and then you have Chris Jones. Those two guys are disruptors. But and that's where every game is won and lost, right? Is in the trenches, and every time you get to a big game, those guys matter. I really think that where this game is a lot is going to be played out is with the Chiefs linebacking core, and where Dallas Goedert is able to get free, or anybody that's lined up in the slot is able to kind of get loose, find soft spots, and have a lot of success. Because in order to stop, a +1 run game where you have Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, right? Like the linebackers are going to have their eyes more focused on stopping the run. And those guys and their ability to stop the run is going to play a huge factor, but also being able to, cover space as well and find, tight end sitting or crossers from wide receivers. That's where Philly can have a little bit more success with throwing the football. And then for the Eagles, I think it's in the back end. They're young, man. They have the exciting whites, but the exciting whites are really young. And then you have Quinyon Mitchell, who's a rookie too, in that back end. I think that those guys against a veteran quarterback who's the best to do it right now, and Patrick Mahomes, that's a huge matchup that Philly fans should probably be a little nervous about.
So we got a Super Bowl matchup, which we don't get a whole lot of, throughout history. But they played each other a couple of years ago. What's the difference between the Eagles since they lost to the Chiefs in the last Super Bowl 2 years ago? And what do you think they do better, or what do you think they do worse from the last time they matched up?
Yeah, I think that when you just look at the fact that they so much has changed. I mean, a lot has changed with this Philly team since that Super Bowl. And it's crazy that it was just a couple of years ago. But you look at from just a leadership standpoint, their 3 biggest leaders are no longer on the team from that last matchup. And now you look at it and you say, all right, from leadership standpoint, okay, what else it changes from there? They've revamped their entire offensive line. Isaac Seumalo is gone. Jason Kelsey is gone. You still have, Jordan Mailata on one side and Lane Johnson on the other. But, Johnson is actually healthy this year, which I think is a huge difference. And Mailata is just more comfortable with being a starting offensive lineman. Remember how raw he was the last time that these two teams played. But I think on the defensive side, their entire identity is completely different from what they were, just a couple of years ago. And the names are different. We were talking just how young that back end is when you have, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship back there. I mean, they are fresh faces, but they're really damn good, and they're young and talented. And I think what we've seen is a lot of growth from Philly up front on that defensive side of the ball. Jalen Carter is one of the best defensive linemen in all of football. Full stop. He is. He's a disruptor and a game wrecker. And I think that is a huge difference for this Philly team.
Yeah. Also, what was it against the Rams game? The clip of him literally just jumping in the air, leaping over the guy trying to block him at the legs. Like that type of athleticism out of a dude that big is just absolutely frightening. How are the Eagles able to do this all the damn time, though?
Right.
It just seemed like, me being a Cowboys fan, I have to deal with Jerry over the last couple seasons saying, oh, we can't afford anybody. We need to be conscious of our money. Whereas it just seemed the Eagles, they can sign anyone. They pick right in the draft. I mean, like, how are they able to just do this and just build these teams year after? I mean, this is their third Super Bowl appearance in the last 6-7 years. How are they able to do this?
I don't know, witchcraft, or maybe there is something to like a fan base being so negative. They just rip everybody down, so there's no positivity, so they're just working harder. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Howie Roseman is doing an incredible job, though, and I know Nick Sirianni, he gets a ton of criticism, but think about it. Like, they have 2 new coordinators from the last time they were in the Super Bowl. They have, so many new pieces around in a different roster, but, Sirianni, we may make fun of him, but the dude can coach, man, and he can coach at the highest of levels. He's done an incredible job with this Eagles team, and there's something to that. There really is something to that. Kind of, they have their identity, they stick to their guns, whether it's through their draft process and their talent evaluation or hiring the right coaches. Man, some franchises just have it figured out, and Philly seems to be one of them. And I can understand why you're a little bit jealous of this, Joe. I am.
For sure.
Well, I saw something the other day where I think it was on like the Cowboys subreddit. It was like, is there any possible way for the Cowboys to somehow get Myles Garrett? And I think the top comment was like, no, but I'm sure the Eagles will figure out how to.
Joe, I think the worst thing for your mental health is to go on the Dallas Cowboys subreddit at this point in the year.
Yeah, at all. I would shut that down completely.
Well, I will say that we are in lockstep, a lot of us Cowboy fans. So, but also like the Eagles, do they have more pressure than the Chiefs today? Is it, the Chiefs obviously trying to make history with 3 in a row, but then the Eagles trying to be the first team outside of a Tom Brady-led team to beat the Chiefs, not just in a conference championship game, but in a Super Bowl. I mean, which team do you think is coming in with more pressure on them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the pressure gets much more than, going for the three-peat and pushing for history that's never been done before, and the Patriots went through this a lot, and they would always say at the time, like, oh, yeah, we're not even thinking about it. We're not thinking about it. But then at the end of the day, when, the Super Bowls would end and they'd be like, yeah, well, actually, it meant a whole lot, and people do think about it. And now you're starting to see, like, there's guys that are coming out saying that, Travis Kelce, Michael Irvin was saying this, that Travis Kelce was asking him in the offseason about, like, how you approach a three-peat and, what that looks like and what you should do to kind of, eliminate some of the distractions and stuff like that. So, I mean, they may say that they're not thinking about it, but they've been thinking about it for a really long time, the ability to go for 3 in a row and what that could mean. And I think that's a ton of pressure. But then you also have on the flip side of it, the pressure of a guy like Jalen Hurts who's sitting there going, like, nobody believes in me. Jalen Hurts, all he does is, like, win. And it's seeming like, yeah, but they're doing it despite Jalen Hurts.
It's talking about
that
you,
guy
Joe.
Yeah, but that's something that, and Joe's not alone. It's like something that you go, all right, he wins a Super Bowl. Does that finally stop? Because, I mean, it wouldn't be like a fluke thing, like a Trent Dilfer or Brad Johnson type Super Bowl. I mean, they're asking him to do a lot more than those guys did. So I think that if you think about it, the pressure is at an incredible magnitude for both sides of this thing. But I still think there's more pressure on the Chiefs.
So here we got the Eagles and we got the Chiefs. And as a Patriots fan, I can't stand the Chiefs. And most people kind of hate the Eagles because of, their fans and everything. So you got 2 fan bases that people pretty much can't stand. 2 teams that a lot of people outside of that fan base pretty much can't stand. Who do you want to lose this game more?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Not so much who do you want to see win.
Yeah, who do you want to see lose? Like, I mean, honestly, because everybody's rooting for somebody to lose today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good question. And I like that question a lot because it's not who do you think is going to win. Who do I want to lose more? Like, that's really tough because there's something that I love Andy Reid. I love Travis Kelce, but this, and this is a tough one for all of us, Rashad, is that people come at us because they're like, Patrick Mahomes is going to be better than Tom Brady.
I don't like it.
And I don't like it either. I don't like it either. And so for that reason, and look, Patrick Mahomes, likable guy. I don't mind Patrick Mahomes. His family could do without, but
Yeah.
him himself, I like him.
He's cool.
I like him. But I want him to lose the Super Bowl because I can't have people just continually saying he's going to be better than Tom, and his career is already better than Tom. It's like, hey, even if he gets another one today, he's still
chasing.
3 fingers short.
Yeah.
And so let's pump the brakes on this. So I'm saying go Birds for that reason.
All right, and last question: what is on the Dusty Hera Super Bowl menu today? Is it just nothing but Victor Rico sauces? Not the food, just the sauces. Just eating those.
Just
all
the
day.
red sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there will be plenty of Victor Rico's red sauce going around because it makes everything better. But I like guys. I woke up this morning. I was like, dude, I was thinking about everything that in the group chat of the people that are coming to the Super Bowl party, what everybody's breeding. And I was laying in bed just going, I've got to get up and get a workout in because I'm going to be
I worked out this morning too, buddy.
Clogging the arteries. So we've got what we are bringing, the Harris are bringing. We do like Little Smokies, but pigs in a blanket, right? And we do them with like the Pillsbury croissants.
Yeah.
But there's a delicate balance between how much croissant to weenie ratio. So we slice the croissant in half. And so they're a little bit smaller. So we're bringing those, and then we bring it's a staple it's like an apricot, lemon, and ginger sauce, and we put Little Smokies in a crock pot, cook them up. It's delightful.
That sounds
to die
fantastic.
for.
Artisan sauces and stuff. Okay.
Well, I know
that's what I'm talking about.
in our first segment, Jordan Schultz, he threw out there the pigs in a blanket and Little Smoky, so I know he is just salivating at the thought of that.
Oh, we
right
had
now.
them at my Super Bowl party last year. I am salivating for them right now.
That's what I'm talking about, Schultze. That's what I'm talking about.
Do you throw cheese in there too?
Yeah, we throw a little bit of cheese, not too much.
Yeah, you
can't have too much in there.
Can't overdo it, but just that little hint. Oh my God, you do it perfectly. Sounds good.
Yeah. Here's the thing, you guys. I was surprised about this. How do you guys feel about deviled eggs? Because it was more split than I thought it would be when we were talking about deviled eggs on Friday.
Love them. Absolutely love it. If they're made correctly, sometimes people can go overboard with the mayo or sometimes not enough. So they're kind of dry. So if this the perfect consistent, and I'm not a mayo guy. I've said it repeatedly on this show.
I'm shocked.
Oh yeah, no, for real. But there's something about deviled eggs. So yes, it's a big yes for me, especially if there's some bacon or something on top.
Yep.
Sold.
I was gonna say I'm cool with deviled eggs. I'm not gonna make them myself or getting in the group chat saying like who's bringing the deviled eggs. But if they're there and like Rashad said, with some bacon bits, bacon crisps on there, for sure, sign me up. I'll snag a couple.
I don't know.
of those.
I love deviled eggs, but I just don't think they're a Super Bowl item for some reason. Like they feel like
make 'em
more
look
of a
like little
holiday item
footballs.
to me. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you could, but still.
Bring on the farts and all. I'm down for the deviled eggs.
Listen.
Yeah, guys, I'm thinking of pre-Dranoing my toilet today because of all this taco food.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Yeah, make sure to schedule Monday after Super Bowl off and pre-Drano the toilet. Dusty, appreciate you, dude. Thanks for jumping on today, and have a great time watching the game. Enjoy your Little Smokies and pigs in a blanket and the festivities today, my man.
You too, guys. Talk to you later.
Love you, bud.
See you, dude. Dusty, Hera, Monday through Friday, noon to 3. Appreciate him as always. Pigs in a blanket and Little Smokies. That's a solid one. It's
It
a
really
good
is.
go-to.
Like, I mean,
It's a go-to.
seriously,
so
like
tasty.
the one thing you can't do, and there's some people that like to, put some salad, some, pasta salads and a lot of stuff you got to use with a spoon and stuff like that. Like Super Bowl foods are meant to be eating with your fingers. Pick them up, put them down, stuff like that. Like anything I need with a fork, unless it's like a dessert, then you don't have to bring.
All right, let's take a break. Let's get back into the game a little bit more here on the Super Bowl edition of Football Sunday on 1080 The Fan.
usage and configuration.
You're listening to Sports Sunday with Rashad Taylor and Joe Fisher on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
Super Bowl Sunday, football Sunday, last one of the year. And a single tear fell from my eye. It's a bittersweet day. People out there, they're going to be enjoying the game. They're going to be enjoying the food, the betting, the gambling. Rashad, what if I told you that you could win some money for doing something that you already do?
Who, me?
Well, maybe not you. I don't know. Depends on how much you listen to 1080 The Fan.
How do I win money, Joe?
You do it by listening to 1080 The Fan on the Odyssey app. Actually, it could be using any sports station on 1080 The Fan. Right now, the Vegas contest is still going on the Odyssey app. The Slam Dunk in Vegas contest.
Oh,
there is still time to enter. All you got to do, again, you're basically already doing it. If you're listening to us on the radio, all you need to do is just download the Odyssey app, log in, and listen to 1080 The Fan or any participating station. And you need to listen to at least 1 hour for your daily entry. Winner of the national contest, you get travel for 4. So that could be you and your wife and your kids, I'm sure.
That could be
I'm
fun.
sure that's who you want to take to Vegas, right?
Yeah. Of
5-night hotel stay at Circa Resort and Casino, Las
Great.
Vegas's premium sports viewing destination.
I think that one's. I thought it was all adults, like adults only at Circa, but one of my favorite hotels, especially in Old Town Las Vegas.
It is home of the biggest March Madness hoops party at
It's awesome.
Stadium Swim.
Stadium Swim is the coolest place in the world. It's a sports book and a pool at the same time. Get out of here.
Sign me up.
Get out of here, bro.
My wife would be in heaven.
That's
No, see, there's all these little like cabanas and stuff like that you
Or is
can
it
rent out and
cabana?
stuff like that. I don't know.
It's
Cabana? Yeah.
It's Cabana.
Yeah.
Is
one
there
of
that
those
little
things.
squiggle above
Ser-
the N?
Seriously, it was the dopest thing. Like you can go up and actually place a bet and watch. Like I watched the Kentucky Derby there when I was there for.
And
my
then
birthday a
slowly
couple years
drown
ago.
yourself once you lose all your money.
The pool is only like 5 or 6 feet, something like that. So it's pretty
oh
legit.
My God, this looks amazing.
It's awesome, bro.
Hey, you also get $5,000 for each of you to fund the ultimate viewing experience for the first 2 rounds of the college basketball championship. Come back each day and listen for another hour to add another chance to win. So just keep listening.
Yes.
Each
keep
day.
listening.
1 hour each day considered an entry. For more info, go to 1080thefan.com.
Can employees enter?
I'm going
I
to say
believe
no.
not. Nay.
I am going to say you cannot enter. But are we really employees? I mean, I am.
I don't
sure-
know.
yeah,
I
think-
guess.
Well, you turn in a timesheet once every 8 months. So, I mean, I don't know. You might not even be in our system
I'm
anymore.
probably not. People do look at me super suspect when I do come in here.
Who are you, sir?
Yeah, like whoa. Like a lot of people, and I understand. Like I'm never here, like ever, and I'm only here on Sundays. And so when I do walk in on a random Tuesday, everybody's like, "Ooh, who's the black guy?"
Who's this tall drink of
Yeah.
water?
Ooh, sexy
Yeah.
man walking through the door.
this?
I haven't seen him before.
It's a lot of guys. I hope that's.
I'm sure
what
there's still a
everybody's
couple of those
thinking.
thoughts
I
coming
hope
through
that's
their
what
minds.
everybody's thinking when I walk in.
What?
Take a look at
What
me.
just happened?
Take
at
a
me.
look at me.
Ain't
What
I a
just
sight to
happened?
see?
Silence.
Yeah.
my
Look at
God.
this. Yes.
Just got really hot in here.
Hey man, that's what happens.
Just got word from the brother-in-law making a Texas no bean chili for chili dogs today.
No bean is
No bean
always good for
chili.
chili dogs.
You know why
In
he's
my opinion.
You know why
I
he's
agree.
making the no bean chili? This guy right here.
I'm not a
Oh.
big fan of beans, eh?
I don't like beans.
I love beans.
Well, the more you eat, the
Good
more
for
you
the
toot,
heart,
right?
Yeah.
Which is sometimes fun. I was
When
definitely
you're
having
12, yeah.
I was definitely having that on Friday. I had a one too many hazy IPAs, New England IPAs in me. Those are unfiltered and make me farty. Those it is
IPAs
just.
are dangerous.
It's
Like,
not so
they're
much IPAs. It's the unfiltered, hazy, juicy ones. I already knew it. I had one Friday at lunch, and I said, I'm like, oh, Joey's catching the brunt of this
Yeah.
later tonight. That's
any,
for sure.
Any IPAs. I'm not so much worried about the gas part as much as I am about the passing out part and having a huge headache in the next morning because IPAs are rough. Like,
That'll
and
do it.
they taste like earwax.
And we'll do it. Oh gosh, what was I just had a thought and it escaped me. Damn it.
Too many hazies.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
happens.
exactly.
Sunday
Weird.
morning, right before the Super Bowl. I'm surprised
Oh!
any of us are awake doing a show, frankly.
Oh, it was actually about how the calendar falls with the Super Bowl and everybody's wants Monday to be off after the Super Bowl. You realize that if Roger Goodell and the NFL get their way and
I
they
want
add
this.
an extra game,
Yes.
as long as it's not at the like they add it before week 1, so it starts on like August 30th or September 1st, or as long as it just gets added to the end of the NFL regular season, that's going to push everything back a week, and then we will get the Super Bowl on the Sunday right before President's Day, therefore creating a day off after the Super Bowl.
But will sports radio guys have the day off after the Super Bowl?
Oh, I doubt it.
Yeah, so we won't, but
I doubt
everybody
it.
else out there
Is
will,
this-
which is awesome.
It's okay. Okay, and this is a question.
And DUIs skyrocket across the country
is
the day of the Super Bowl because now everybody knows that they don't have to go into work the next day, so therefore getting even more hammered than they would already.
if
they
there were
didn't.
any job I wouldn't have a problem coming into, with the exception of having to do like an early morning show. I don't know if there's a better job to come into, like, and just do this with your buddies for 3 hours. So I was gonna do this for free. I was gonna do this anyway. Like, I was gonna talk sports and talk shop with my friends or with whomever I was gonna do it, especially after the Super Bowl or after that. I was gonna do that anyway. So why not do it with my buddies and get paid for it? So I think sports radio is probably the one gig that most people are like, I'm okay with going today.
Unless you hate
Yeah.
your co-host.
Unless you absolutely hate your co-host. Like I said, there is some
Which,
some
that is true
exceptions to the
somewhere.
rule where you absolutely hate your co-host, or you just don't want to be there. You just hate doing that particular gig. But like I said, after stuff happens on Saturday, last week when Luka got traded or whatever, it was like, I can't wait to go in.
Yeah, it was one of those like, hell yeah.
I can't wait to go in tomorrow. That's going to be awesome. Just to be able to talk shop. So I think, if you have this job, you're not too bad. You're not too worried about coming in.
Well, speaking of having this job and getting paid a hell of a lot more to do it, we are going to take a break, start hour number 2, and have Jason Zukanik
Bringing
on
in the
show.
big guns.
Big Sook, yes. We will have him to start hour number 2. We will have our final thoughts on the game. We will do the final Who Do You Love of the football season, where I don't see a crown or a trophy or a celebratory bottle anywhere. But,
I will get you a crown. I will make you a crown
um,
before we leave.
like a little paper
Before I got you.
paper crown,
I got you.
like a paper snowflake or
I can
something.
do it. Watch me work.
We should just have a Burger King crown for.
We can get
for
one of
this.
those, too.
Yeah, that we
You have to wear it
please.
though.
that we spray paint and that we customize a little bit more.
Have
Say
it your
less, as
way.
the kids say.
We should get a trophy company, a local trophy company, to
To make us a crown?
to sponsor the segment. Trophies don't cost that much. I mean, we can
No, trophies are
like
pretty
$20,
cheap.
$25, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
I want a pure gold trophy though, please. But we will start hour number 2, Big Sook, and then the rest of our Super Bowl show right here, Football Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Time is ticking away. Don't let another minute pass.
Way to rewind Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
Dude. I guess you've got a point there.
This is Sports Sunday.
Hey, Skidmark Steve. Hey, dude. You still just hanging out playing Nintendo?
Well, if you must know, I'm in my second year of med school, and I'm training for the summer games. What are you two up to?
Just hanging out, playing Nintendo.
A recap of the sports week, a preview of today's games, and next week's big stories.
You think Shaq got rich playing in Orlando? Hardly. He made his fortune moving to LA. You know how much he makes now?
As much as he made playing in college?
What? No.
Now, here are Rashad Taylor and Joe Fisher.
What happened out there?
You know, it was a team effort, and I guess it took every player working together to lose this one.
Thanks, Doug. And so...
Hey, want to do an interview with me? No.
With Sports Sunday on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
Bob, in all my years of calling games, I don't think I've ever been this excited.
You're excited? Feel these nipples.
Hour number 2, Football Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, right here on 1080 The Fan. Joe Fisher, Rashad Taylor, George Schultz on the ones and twos. Hope you're all doing great. Text in to the text line 503-864-6326, the Vancouver Ford text line, or tweet at us. But it is time to go to the phones because we got Big Souk, Jason Sukanik, on the phone with us on this Super Bowl Sunday. Did this last year where we had Souk and Dusty on the phone previewing the game, and so we got Big Souk again. How you doing this morning, man?
Ahoy, boys.
My guy.
How are you?
I'm doing good, and I'm coming to you from the majestic mats of Brazilian top team Damascus. So the fine people of Damascus say hello.
Oh,
so if you want to start your Sunday off right, you come out here and get strangled, work up an appetite, and then go home and eat and watch the game.
It's becoming your Super Bowl tradition, getting some rolling in, getting some wrestling in, and then getting ready for the big game.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to get out and move a little bit before you drink and eat yourself into a coma. Plus, it's humbling to get your ass kicked before pretending that you're some sort of like football hero expert. So it's good. It's good to get humbled.
Well, Dusty said basically the same thing, that you want to get a workout in before absolutely destroying your toilet later tonight after all the fried
makes everything
foods
flow so much better.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely,
exactly.
100%.
Well, Souk, what I asked Dusty this, and I'd like to ask you this too, because I'm just curious. What do you think position wise, matchup wise? What's going to be the key to the game? Is it the line of scrimmage? Is it the Eagles front if they're going to able to get penetration on Mahomes in that offensive line? Is it the secondary of the Chiefs being able to withhold the weapons of the Eagles? What do you think is going to be the biggest factor matchup wise in this game?
I mean, I think there's a ton in this game.
Right.
I mean, look, I think this is going to be a close game. Kansas City doesn't blow people out. They just don't. They're 18-0 in their last 18 one-score games. So I think this is going to be a one-score game. If you go back and look at their last 2 Super Bowls, I mean, Philly had a 10-point lead on them. The Hurts fumble, scoop and score, sketchy holding pass interference penalty down, with 4 minutes to play. I mean, these are close games. San Francisco, right, third down, broken protection, ends up kicking a field goal. Kansas City goes down and beats them. Like, this is going to be one of those games. I mean, it's going to come down to, like most close games, it's going to come down to 2 or 3 plays. But ultimately, for me, it's Jalen Hurts. If Philadelphia wins the Super Bowl, they will have averaged 188 yards throwing the football. That's the lowest of any NFL if they were to win, any NFL champion in history.
Wow.
I mean, this is a passing league still, and they don't throw the ball well. So, if you want one thing, because I can go down, red zone defense is big. Kansas City is a terrible, believe it or not, red zone offense. They're not very good. They kick a lot of field goals. What does Philadelphia do really well? Red zone defense. Vic Fangio will strangle you, right, when you get down to them. So there's a million of these little things, right? But the team that has the most third downs in the NFL is Philadelphia. Philadelphia lives on third down. It's not even close. The other teams around them, as far as how many third downs you get, are the Giants and the Browns. Like getting to third down usually isn't a good thing, and yet Philly lives there. You know who's really good on third down defense? Kansas City. So like there's a bunch of these matchups, right, that I can point to. But if it comes down to one thing, it's Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts plays the game he did 2 years ago, I think Philadelphia can win. If Jalen Hurts plays the game he did against the Commanders, which I thought was the best game he's played in 2 years, I think Philadelphia can win. The question becomes, can Jalen Hurts do that against Spags' defense in the biggest moment? I would probably say no, but it's if you want one simple thing, it is that Jalen Hurts has to be. I don't know if he has to be the best player on the field, but he can't be average. Yeah. He just can't be average against Spags, Andy Reid, and Pat Mahomes. And you know, if you're betting on him, it's a bold bet because he just hasn't looked the same since that Super Bowl 2 years ago. He just hasn't. He's regressed.
Yeah, if Philly wants to win, then they definitely need Jalen Hurts to be best. But outside of Jalen Hurts, who on that Philadelphia team do you see as potentially the biggest X factor in today's game? Somebody that we're maybe not talking about as much.
Well, I mean, if you want someone that everyone's talking about, it's Saquon Barkley. They're just going to come out and run. I mean, they have to run. Like I mentioned, they live on third down. They live there. But if you want one matchup, I'm going to say it's just the Philadelphia offensive line against third down pressure. I mean, if you go back and look, I mean, look at the Bills play, right, on third down. Or actually it was the fourth down where, he throws it up to the tight end. No one does a better job on third and fourth down in pressure situations than Spags. He dials up exotic pressures. In fact, the play I was referring to in the Super Bowl last year where San Francisco ended up having to settle for the field goal was a third down exotic pressure, and the offensive line didn't pick it up. So to me, if you're going to live on third down, and Philadelphia does live on third down, as I mentioned, more third downs than any team in the NFL. Because they don't really throw the ball a lot. They run. So you're going to get to third down a lot. You're going to get to 3rd and 3. You're going to get to 3rd and 4. And in those situations, especially in key moments, Spags is going to dial up some exotic-looking pressure, some things that Philadelphia will not have seen throughout the course of that game. And to me, can the offensive line pick it up? Because if you want one key denominator through this whole Chiefs run besides Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, it's that. It's in these big third downs when it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 in the fourth quarter, and Philly is going to have to throw the ball for a big first down or in the red zone. Spags will dial up something where he is going to bring more on one side than Philadelphia will be able to pick up unless they slide their protection, unless they audible to something. Those are the moments that Philadelphia has to win. And over the last handful of years, people aren't winning those downs against Kansas City. So that I know that's not an individual matchup.
No, it's cool.
But the ability to pick up pressure on 3rd and 4th down, because Philly will go for it on 4th down too, very aggressive.
Yeah.
3rd and 4th down, watch it. When you get to those big key moments, I promise you, especially late in the game, Kansas City will bring pressure. And can you pick it up? Because if you do, again, Philadelphia wins this game. But so far, no one's been able to do that against Kansas City.
Well, and I feel like this is very similar to last year's game against the 49ers, where if you go position by position, really the only advantage that the Chiefs seem to have as far as talent level goes is quarterback, maybe kicker. But, I mean, I was doing this on Tuesday with my buddy that I do a podcast with. It was like running back. Well, you give it to the Eagles. The receiving court, Eagles. Offensive line, Eagles. Defense, Eagles. So, like, is it a matter of the Chiefs and the coaching staff and the coaching difference is able to make up that difference and able to give it? Because that's basically what decided the game last year was coaching.
Yeah. I mean, you're dead on. If I were to go through, I only give them one matchup, and that's quarterback. Like you said, running back, O-line, receiver. I think D-line is close. Linebackers, secondary, I all lean Philly, and some of those are close.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce versus, Goddard, I think younger, but I mean, I get it. Like it's Travis Kelce, but there's not an advantage. You get a clear advantage at any position other than quarterback. But again, I go back to it. Andy Reid with extra time to prepare, which is the Super Bowl. I believe he's now like, it's something silly. It's like 33-5, 33-6 in his career with extra time. So you have arguably the best big game coach that we've seen, outside of, Belichick. You have arguably the best quarterback we've seen since Tom Brady, and maybe after this, including Tom Brady, of all time. No one's better in clutch moments in third and fourth down than Pat Mahomes. And I think you have the best defensive coordinator in big moments. So, yeah, I do think it's an element of coaching. I think it's an element of Kansas City is 100% comfortable playing in the margins. And when you get to this level and you're talking about, these sorts of games, it really comes down to one or two plays. Go back to any close Super Bowl that it's one or two plays. And Kansas City wins those plays. They just win in the margins. They don't blow you out. They're not some sort of juggernaut. No one's going to look at this team and be like, oh, my God, there's 9 Hall of Famers on it. There's not. You got Kelsey, you got Chris Jones, and you got Mahomes, or kind of all-timers. Outside of that, it's a collection of solid players. It's very much reminiscent of the New England Patriots. And you look at those Patriot teams, outside of Tom Brady, where's the stars on that? I mean, okay, you had Richard Seymour's, or, you had a Rodney Harrison. 1 year Randy Moss didn't win with Randy, Gronk. But it's not a team full of all-timers. It was a team of all-timer with unbelievable coaching and discipline, and that's Kansas City. Just winning the margins.
So I got to ask you, especially as one of the great offensive linemen from the Northwest over here, man, how will the Chiefs' offensive line hold up against this really, really solid Eagles defensive front?
It's weird to me because the only thing, you go back to the Super Bowl where they lost to the Buccaneers, everyone got hurt. But they just find ways. I mean, they have been an albatross out at left tackle, and this is their third left tackle they've been to. And what did they do? They took an all-pro left guard and kicked him out to left tackle, who, by the way, doesn't play tackle. And in the playoffs, he's been hammer, lights out. It's just weird. I don't know what sort of magic they brew up, but it just seems in these games this doesn't affect them. But I would think that would be something I would keep an eye on, because Philly's defensive line, Brandon Graham's going to come back. And I know they'll only situational play him in third downs, but I mean, there's a guy that's probably going to the Hall of Fame. Philly's D-line should be able to give Kansas City problems. I don't think Kansas City, who doesn't run the ball particularly well anyways, they're not going to be able to run. And I do think you're going to have some moments there where Philly's defensive line, especially interior, if you click Tooney out from left guard out to tackle because they don't have another choice, I would think Jordan Davis and, Jalen Carter, who are right now 2 of the best defensive tackles in the NFL, I would assume that especially Jalen Carter plays over that left guard and picks on him and forces Creed Humphrey to help that way. So I do think if you're Philly and Vic Fangio, that is an element that I do think that they are going to be able to pick on Kansas City a little bit, get them into obvious passing situations, and then can you get Patrick Mahomes off the field? And again, something I mentioned earlier, keep an eye on it. Kansas City is a really bad red zone offense. You think Kansas City is so efficient, but they're not. This is not a good red zone team this year, and Philly's defense is top 3 in the league. So that's huge. If Philly can keep them out of the end zone and keep them kicking field goals, those are big moments for this Philly defense.
All right, and last question. I got to ask, what's on the Super Bowl menu? Are you doing a fast food buffet like you did on New Year's Eve, where it was Wingstop, Taco Bell, McDonald's? Basically like when Trump had the Clemson football team in after their championship. You going that route, or are you classing up a little bit more?
We call those we do that the Talladega Nights meal. Where we have the delicious.
I've been slaving over this for hours.
Yeah, we do that. No, I think we're doing. What does the BTJ have on? I think we're doing pot roast grilled cheese sandwiches, which are unbelievable. She does a spicy horseradish sauce. We're doing a hodgepodge. So because I wanted the pot roast sandwiches. She's doing her Spam fried rice. You got a little Asian flavor in there. And then we're doing a Japanese fried chicken. So we got a little.
Ooh, some karage, huh?
Karage, yeah. So we got a little bit of everything. But it's just, just me sitting on the couch. We're not doing it's harder for me to do parties and stuff. I usually take out my little yellow pad and I kind of just jot down notes. And I actually just like watching the game. Parties, I can't do parties. I'm too old. I like being on the couch and having my food. So, and she's a good cook. So, like I said, I'll get my rolls in here, and then I'll go home and just start eating some rice.
Also, completely random question. I feel like we talked about a couple months ago. You say you got a buddy that lives at Tethro or lives near Tethro?
Yes, he lives. Well, he lives. They're reciprocal courses. He lives on Broken Top, which is if you've ever been out there, they split the course. Like I don't know how to say it. Like if you hit the ball on a fairway and it goes left, you went from Broken Top, you end up in Tethro and vice versa. So he lives on Broken Top. He lives on the putting green at Broken Top, but then you can just go over and it's reciprocal. You can play Tethro over there, and Tethro is a kick in the nuts.
Well, I'm going there March, which I don't know if I'm going to be golfing because I don't know what the weather is going to be like and all that. But I will be going back in June. But I was going to say, all right, if that's the case, then you know me, I like to ball on a budget. So if any I looked at the green fees for Tethro and I was like, oh boy, all right.
Well, I think we can probably help you out at least with and trust me, like no shots, but neither one of us is a scratch golfer. You don't want to play Tethro. Go play Broken Top.
I have heard from many people that playing Tethro, it is you play it and you never want to play it again.
If you
I'm not trying to be
are
frustrated like that.
If you are not a stick, Tethro is tough. So Broken Top is a much well, actually I actually think it's a more enjoyable course anyways. Just we'll hook you. We can make Broken Top happen, and you'll save some balls. You'll thank me.
Yes. Well, because of my giant bucket of balls from last year at the Fan Golf Classic, I got plenty of them, so I'm good to go.
Got a lot of balls, Joe.
You'll need them if you go pay Tethro. That place is like whenever I go out there, like very, very once in a while, we'll get a wild air and we'll decide to go play, and then we're like, why did we do this?
Well, thanks for jumping on. And yes, we will talk more about Broken Top, Tethro, all of that. But yeah, appreciate you jumping on today, dude, and enjoy the game today.
All right. Have a good Super Bowl, boys.
All right. See you soon. Jason Sakanik, obviously you know him Monday through Friday, primetime, 3 to 7, all that good stuff. Loved getting him to talk about football because, you listen to primetime, it jumps around from in the news and club, and you'll get some segments. But when you get him going about football, it's the dude's got to
tell he's in his happy place when he gets to talk about football, man, which is awesome.
He's locked in. All right, take a break. Come back to it. Preview the game a little bit more. Football Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, right here on 1080 The Fan.
Searching for the perfect blend of performance
Sports Sunday with Rashad and Joe on Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
How many hours we got until kickoff, boys? What is it? I'm trying to do the math. 5?
5 hours and 9 minutes?
5 hours and
Well,
9 minutes.
It's gonna blow by.
5 hours in like 19 minutes.
I was
Because
gonna say,
kickoff is
yeah,
not going to be at
for
3
whatever
hours.
reason-
or 29 minutes.
Yeah.
As soon as we wrap up here, and I don't live too far away, but by the time I get home and I look at the clock, it's like, damn, it's 11:50. Like, when did that happen? Like, so time moves so fast as
Gotta
soon
get
as
that
we
food
wrap up
ready.
here. Yeah, and then you got to go to the. I don't know if you guys have already done your prep work and went to the store.
No.
Yeah,
I gotta go
Absolutely
get.
not.
Gotta go get the
the
pizza.
store's gonna be crazy.
And I'm sure that the store full of dips and jalapeno poppers is going to be nuts.
As far as the cream cheese, that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm gonna need for my jalapeno popper filling. That it's gonna be.
Go to the Safeway over here before as we
I got
leave.
an extra one, bro.
Awesome.
Just stop
Love
by my
joy.
house on the way to Willamina.
Yeah.
I'm here for the cream cheese.
That would be my wife would be like, "What?"
Uh,
She'd be fine with it. It'd just be like, "Why does Joe need cream cheese?"
I heard you have cream cheese.
Lots of it.
I don't know if Super Bowl Sunday. I'm trying to think back to my high school Safeway working days, because there was certain days of the year where the shopping wasn't. It was insane. It was a madhouse. I would say the Saturday before. I mean, today's still going to be rough, but it's the day before that was always the absolute madhouse. I'd say. For
I
when
was at
worked
Costco
there.
yesterday. It was madass.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely stupid.
I don't
and
know.
I don't wish it upon anybody.
Day of anything, any major food thing. So, we all know Super Bowl is the second biggest day of food consumption outside of Thanksgiving, here in the United States. And we all kind of know that at this point. So expect your stores to be super crowded. And that's the thing, like anytime, like the day of Thanksgiving, I can expect the store to be crowded. The day of the Super Bowl, it's like I don't even want to go. So I try to get things that I don't have to weigh, like produce and stuff like that if I need that. I try to get stuff in the package so this way I can take it to the electronics part and pay for everything right there.
I'm sure plumbers are having a good week after this, though.
Oh, man, the best week. The best week. Who do you think, what job do you think, honestly, kind of benefits most from the Super Bowl?
Ooh.
So DoorDash deliverers.
I mean, this is the biggest pizza delivery day of the year.
So anybody that's delivering food today is getting paid.
Big tips, big business for pizza companies.
I'd say doctors the day after the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm sure the ER might be filled up at nighttime with people that are just absolutely just essing themselves.
We know about the
a lot
baby.
of gastro.
We know about the baby
problems.
boom. I don't know if that's gonna increase business in like the week after the Super Bowl as opposed to like 9 months. But the winning city,
especially
usually,
whoever won.
Yeah, usually has a big old
lot of
explosion of births.
A lot of kids named Patrick and Jalen.
Well, and this is
all of a
exactly
sudden.
this is exactly why we don't need the Eagles to win, because do you really want more Philly fans being, do you want an increase in
Show everybody your
Philly
shirt,
fans?
Joe.
No, but I also
No, Joe. Show everybody your shirt.
I am wearing an Eagle shirt today.
Oh, good for you.
Yes,
Yeah, let's
it
show
is,
that. Supporting Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
And all the fans that want him fired stupidly. I like
Joe
that.
doesn't care about you Cowboy fans. He's already moved on.
That is
It
pretty
is-
funny.
to be fair, it is an Adidas golf.
Doesn't
shirt.
matter.
It's got an eagle. It's got a couple irons and wedges and a driver and its talons.
If I wore a shirt with a big blue star on it, you'd be like, huh.
Maybe it's a reverse.
Finally came around, huh?
Maybe
Rashad?
I did it because of a reverse jinx thing.
Maybe.
There,
maybe.
it is technically Cowboys colors too. There's white and blue.
No, I mean that's kind of like a mashup.
It's
okay.
Yeah, we don't want the Eagles winning today. Plain and simple. I mean,
Honestly, and I kind of tend to lean a little bit towards Dusty's. Like as a Patriots fan, this is being selfish at this point. Like I don't want Patrick Mahomes to win. I don't want him. Like I feel like he's already won enough for a career. And so for him to have one more feather in his cap at this point would just be really, really frustrating. And so
I feel
I'll
like
be honest, I
people's-
like Patrick Mahomes' daddy more than I like him.
I feel like people's. Well, I'm sure you do.
Why you say that? Why you say it like that?
Because he's cool. He's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. Patrick seems
You're a big
not as
Jackson
nice.
fan too.
No, Jackson again. Jackson can go away, like all the way away.
He made up a little bit for it by
Wait
shielding
until-
that kid last year during the parade. He did.
That's true.
Yeah,
He did.
come
I'll
back
give
up
I'll
a
give
little
him
bit.
that. He's got a heart.
Just wait
does have
until
a
he
heart, but he's
jumps
an
on
idiot.
the Tweaker remix with Jello or something like that.
Oh
Gosh.
God.
Are we not going to get that? You just not going to play it for us, George?
Can we get a Jello Tweaker remix
don't
featuring
have it in the system.
Jackson
I'm not gonna
Mahomes,
pull it.
please?
No, I'm
Also-
not going to
And
put
Lil
it
Wayne.
in.
That'll
That'd be
set the
dope.
world on fire. Oh yeah. I mean, speaking of Lil Wayne, I mean, we still got to figure out who's going to be the surprise guest appearance at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Well, we know it's going to be SZA. We know that's
Well, she
that's
was
one.
yeah. That's not.
She's kind of leaked that.
It's a matter of who's the surprise though.
Well, Diddy can't allegedly force any artists to show up now that he's in jail. So if y'all haven't dove into that, dive into that, because everybody allegedly is connected to Diddy, and I'm talking deaths back to the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard Rashad. He's been to some of those freak offs.
I got invited once. I was like, "Nah, I'm good. Not my." Not
You were
my
there for
cup
the
of tea.
pre-party?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Like a lot of people went to the party. Diddy threw some of the apparently some of the best parties
Well, but
ever.
then there was the 1 a.m. start of the after
the
party.
post celebration that they had
Here's
after.
Rashad with the cover up.
No, like I said, and not for real. If I'd have been invited to a Diddy white party in the
would've gone.
90s, yes, I'm
Yeah.
absolutely going.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And then promptly left after
yeah,
he
and
saw
then
what
after
was going down.
after you see everything else, like Upco.
That's an awful lot.
Looks
of
like my
baby
ride is here.
oil. What's
Looks like my taxi's here. Gotta get
Actually,
outta here.
guys, the whole baby oil thing, there's a very insidious reason that he allegedly could have had the baby oil.
Playing slip and slide.
No, not quite, but there have been so many deep dives and podcasts into this. I don't want to go into it here because we're a sports show.
Everybody has a
let's not.
a
Let's
documentary
not.
about
Let's
it and
not.
everything, so
I was trying to find the novelty bets, and then we ended up diving into.
no, I think it's gonna be. I mean, a lot of people said, "What if it's Drake?"
there are odds on Drake.
They have
the
a
Drake
lot of
odds?
song
Yeah.
records. They have a lot of song records. They have a lot of records.
I'm trying to find it. They have what, 2?
They have like 4 or 5.
Why is the MVP?
Drake and Kendrick?
Yeah, they got a few.
Why is the MVP under novelty bets on Bovada? That sounds stupid. That's not a novelty bet. That's an actual outcome of the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
Dr. Dre.
Well, they had a list of all the different possible. Taylor Swift was on the
He
list.
has a record with Taylor
'cause
Swift.
Yeah, Bad Blood. That goes. I love his verses.
That would be actually that's probably the one.
Because
She's
baby,
already
now
gonna.
we got bad
She's already gonna
blood.
be there. That's one of her biggest songs and had
Used
Kendrick
to
Lamar
be
on it.
mad love.
So
Please stop. I beg you, Joe.
and with Kansas City being
You made
in
a
the
really
Super Bowl,
deep cut.
See, Joe knows the words, so I don't know. I know the Bad Blood part, but outside of that, I forgot Kendrick was on that record.
Oh yeah, it goes. I listened to it the other day.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say it's either Taylor or it's gonna be like Dr. Dre.
I heard Janet. Dre was just there a couple of years ago when it was at
So-
Super Bowl.
so
in
was
LA.
Kendrick.
That's true. He was actually.
So,
Oh, wait.
yeah.
Wait a second. Wow, how about that? Good for him. 2 Super Bowl performances for Kendrick.
I don't know if that's happened. Justin Timberlake performed once with NSYNC like that. Guess that counts.
What a comeback it would be if Janet Jackson's there, though. I mean,
That would be great.
what are we? Are we 20, 25 years past the pasty?
Staged. Staged.
I'm not sure the NFL would allow that, frankly, because of the conversations.
Kendrick does it again.
Yeah.
Rips it off.
Well,
and there's
you
a
mean
purpose this time?
JT?
Yeah.
Kendrick? He's gonna rip it off. I was like, they're gonna let JT back to rip that off? What
Yeah,
the
bring 'em
hell?
both
Kendrick
back.
does have a song that kind of
It
samples Janet Jackson. So
and that has Drake in it.
that has Drake. So I
That's
mean,
poetic
that could
justice.
happen.
Yeah,
That
poetic
could
justice
happen.
has a sample from Janet Jackson and Drake. Book it.
Okay,
Parlay.
that's what's gonna happen.
Parlay a Drake and Janet Jackson.
Put
appearance.
$1,000 on it.
All right, I gotta find the list of these novelty bets. One, because maybe we want to bet on these, and 2, it's the final Who Do You Love of the football season, where I will take my place on the throne. I think I need to look at the math and see if there's any statistical way that one Jordan Schultz can usurp my reign. But I don't think that's going to happen. But again, get your bets ready. Get ready to lose some Monopoly money. Maybe Rashad can make it respectable at the end. Finish the season strong. Do a little Blazers type finish to Who Do You Love? Win 9 of his last 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Anything's possible. Let's make it happen.
let's wrap up our final Who Do You Love of the year. But first, Jordan Schultz, SportsCenter update.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on 1080 The Fan.
First on the Fan, the Portland Trailblazers getting their 6-game winning streak snapped by the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, 114-98 the final. Anthony Simons leading the way for Portland with 21, but the Timberwolves did it without Anthony Edwards. Naz Reid leading the way for the T-Wolves with 23 points. The Lakers are nixing the Mark Williams deal with the Charlotte Hornets. That means Dalton Knecht going to be back in Los Angeles. Mark Williams reportedly failing his physical, that being the reason that Los Angeles wanted to nix the deal. Elsewhere on the college hardwood, the Michigan State Spartans, 9th ranked in the nation, beating Oregon 86-74, the final. And of course, today, Super Bowl 59 between the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles down in New Orleans. Kansas City currently a 1-point favorite. The over-under on that game is 48.5. Kickoff set for 3:30 p.m. on Fox. And big NFL news dropping late last night, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore expected to become the New Orleans Saints head coach, barring any unexpected developments. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's window into 1080 The Fan. Sports Sunday with Rashad and Joe on Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan. Who do you love? Rashad and Joe share their predictions and look back at last week to see if they still love their picks. It's time for Who Do You Love? Part of Sports Sunday on 1080 The Fan.
Final Who Do You Love of the football season. Going to take a look at the standings, and I haven't looked at these for, 2 weeks, ever since the conference championship weekend. But what Jordan needed from me was to go 0-3. He needed me to go 0-3, and that's exactly what I did in conference championship week. I took Commanders to cover. Didn't happen. Not even close. Took Bills money line. Did not happen. And Josh Allen anytime touchdown. Did not happen. So Joe Fish gets the 0-3 week that Jordan Schultz needed so desperately to get me to 27, 23, and 1. Rashad, you went 1-2.
It's not important. We can move on.
Got the Chiefs to cover. You took Oklahoma City Thunder to cover against the Blazers that day.
And I'll be damned.
And they did not.
I'll be damned.
Wow.
And then you took the Eagles Commanders under 46.5. The Eagles hit the over by themselves. So
not the game I was expecting.
Rashad goes 1-2.
Not the game I was expecting.
19, 28, and 1 on the season. And then Jordan Schultz, he needed a 3-0 week. That did not happen.
Of course it didn't. Are you kidding me?
You did hit on the Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley combined parlay touchdown. That was the one you did hit.
Yay.
And then Chiefs -2 did not hit. Wait, I'm sorry. They won by how many against the Bills?
I thought that they did. That was a cover.
Hold on a sec. And actually, maybe that I color-coded this wrong because now that I'm thinking about it, Josh Allen did not score in that. Yes, the Chiefs did cover. Excuse me. Josh Allen did not
That's
have
what it was. Okay.
a touch. So that was the correct one. Sorry, I just color-coded him wrong here on my spreadsheet. So that hit. The Allen Barkley combined touchdown did not hit. And then Terry McLaurin anytime touchdown.
Nope.
That did not hit. So you go 1-2 on the week, bringing you to 22, 27-2, which means regardless of what happens today, I am your 2025 Who Do You Love segment champion.
Well,
Thank you.
Well,
Stop.
you got
Ladies,
it.
please put your tops back on. It's all right. Thank you.
It's huge.
It's a good win. You know, we went out there, gave it 110%, you know, put up a good game plan. I have to thank God, first and foremost of all. And that's where I'm going with my first bet in Who Do You Love? If you look up the prop bets, one of the prop bets is who does the first player that they interview, who do they think first? And God right now at plus 200, I'm locking it in.
Yeah,
God
that's
has
a good
had a huge year in football.
That's a good one.
It seems like everybody is thanking God first and foremost. Then it goes teammates,
Dude's
coaches. It's everyone.
Yeah.
It's everyone. God is undefeated this year.
So one seed.
I want God's betting ticket, all right? Because that dude is just locked in. He's one of the best sports bettors out there. God plus 200. First thank you from the Super Bowl MVP. And that is the bet. The Super Bowl MVP. Who do they think first? I'm going with God. All praise to the Most High.
I'm gonna take a couple prop bets as well. First one I'm gonna take is Dallas Goedert for 49.5 receiving yards. I guess 90%, 97% of the bets and 98% of the bets handles are on the over. I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say under 49.5. I think he's gonna have a big game. I think he's gonna have a big game, but I think it's gonna be in these little small spurts. So yeah, 49.5.
Goddard over 49.5 locked in. Rushing yards, right?
Receiving yards. Come on, bro. Don't try to play me because all I think about it for a second. I was like, they could run some trick plays with Goddard today. Like, if there's any day that you're going to run a trick play, it might be today.
And the Jets sweep to Goddard, and there he goes. All right, Jordan, what's your first bet?
I'm going easy. First bet's going to be Kansas City -1. I think that they're going to be on the side of the pick'em winners, of course. I just don't think they can be beat, and they're going to be slicing and dicing, like I said in the first hour, with Pat Mahomes scrambling all over the place and little short passes, and then they'll probably throw a nice little 25-yard touchdown pass to Travis Kelce in there as well. So Chiefs -1 today. Lock it in.
Chiefs -1. Again, there's part of me that wants to kind of stick on this prop bet train because it's the Super Bowl.
I got two great prop bets coming up for you.
I mean, it is the one time of year where you can bet on things like, is Lil Wayne going to be a guest appearer on the Super Bowl? He said he's not going to even be there. So right now, I don't think that looks like a good bet. But you can bet on people like Doechii, who just won Grammy for Best Rap Album of the Year. You can bet on Future. You can bet on Janet Jackson showing up. Eminem, A$AP Rocky, Anderson .Paak, Beyonce plus 900. Drake plus 3,500. Drake is on the bet sheet plus 3,500 for him to show up at the Super Bowl halftime show. But I will not go there. I am going to go with Gatorade color. It's good.
Love that one.
It's a classic. It's a Super Bowl classic. I want to say that yellow/green has jumped up to be the betting favorite. Purple was initially the betting favorite.
Purple was Andy Reid last time in last year's Super Bowl, I believe. So
everybody likes cool Mountain Blue, huh?
Yeah. What is the GOAT Gatorade flavor? Because I think it's Glacier Freeze.
Glacier Freeze is pretty good.
I like Cool Blue.
Cool Blue and Glacier Freeze. Blue, I feel, has got a little bit too much of that like sugary taste to it.
I'm a Fierce Melon guy. I think Fierce Melon is the best flavor.
You strike me as a cucumber lime.
I tried it once and will never try it again.
I like the teal kind. It's like a Glacier something. It's not the Glacier Freeze, but it's like just slightly more teal than the blue one. It's so good.
I'm going to lock in orange Gatorade, though. I'm going to go with the orange Gatorade. It's the most common choice. I feel like it is the one that appeases people the most. I feel like one of my least favorite Gatorade Powerade flavors, red. the cherry or fruit
Powerade
punch,
wasn't
or fruit
great
punch.
anyway.
Fruit punch flavored Gatorade, way too salty. Like, and I know that all of them have extra sodium in there to replace those electrolytes. The red one by far is the saltiest of all the Gatorade flavors.
If you're gonna drink Gatorade after a workout or after something when it's hot, lemon lime is the way to go. If you're gonna really, drink it just for, like if you're drinking for fun, then you're drinking your blue or your green or whatever color you like. But if you're drinking because you just worked out or it's super hot outside, lemon lime Gatorade is the one.
Do NFL teams have different flavors of Gatorade on the sidelines, or is it all just like one flavor? I mean, we're getting kind of deep in the weeds here, but like, what does the equipment manager do? Because I've seen them prepare, like, for instance, a dugout for baseball. It's all one flavor, and then they got water as well. But
I'm sure they go. I'm sure they go multiple flavors. I know that some of the, I don't know what you call them, equipment managers or Gatorade managers, they like to get a little creative and start mixing them and creating different flavors and stuff. I heard that's something that they do. But yeah, I'm going classic orange. Classic orange. What if it was like an outside Super Bowl and they go chicken broth bath?
Gross.
I'd be down.
Tasty
Tasty
like soup for the rest of the day.
Warm.
Yeah, no, thank you. Don't pour nothing warm on me.
I know they do that in cold weather games. They'll have the Gatorades, but then they also have like sometimes they'll do some coffee, but also some broth that you can
dump
fill up on.
warm tea on somebody. Like okay, cool.
And Andy Reid gets third-degree burns after the Super Bowl. I'm sure he would be drinking. He'd be wringing out his jacket of that chicken broth into a glass, drinking
douse
it.
Andy Reid and gravy.
Yeah,
he'd
Give me
love
some
it.
nuggies. Give me some nuggy juice.
I'll douse him in some KFC gravy. He would absolutely love that. So I've got one for the Swifties. So I'm going under 6.5 Taylor Swift shown on TV.
Oh, it's 6.5.
It's 6.5.
I was trying to guess.
I'm going under.
I was trying to guess what that was on Tuesday. And yes, I think I put 5.5, but
it depends on how many catches Travis Kelce has.
So you're going Taylor Swift under or over?
I'm going to go over. As I think about it, it's like, is Travis Kelce's...
That's a lot.
Travis Kelce's going to catch a lot of balls more than likely. And so I think they're going to show her every single time he does something well.
So Taylor Swift over 6.5.
So come on 7.
All right. I feel... all right.
They love Taylor Swift, man.
It's typed in. It's locked in. Jordan, your second bet.
So I'm going national anthem. This is one I usually like to focus in on, the length of the national anthem.
John Baptiste?
Yes, John Baptiste.
John Baptiste.
And
yeah.
I do believe I picked Lady Gaga to go over last year, and I nailed that one.
Did you have her jumping off of the stadium?
Did not have
as a
that.
prop bet by chance.
No, unfortunately, I did not. No, but the cool thing about this is usually you can go find past performances on YouTube, and you obviously don't know what this performance is going to look like. But
I got the last 4 for you.
There
Last
you
year, Reba's was 102 seconds hitting the under. The previous 3 all went over. Chris Stapleton went over. Mickey Guyton, who I don't know who that is, 108 seconds. That hit the over. So very short, but still hit the over. And then 4 years ago, Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan, they hit the over. So
I'm pulling the Gaga one out of my butt then. That's from a few years ago.
So 3 of the last 4 hit the over, but last year's Reba, that was an under.
Well, I'm not even thinking of the last Super Bowl performances. I'm thinking of Batista's previous performances. He performed the anthem at a tennis match. He performed it at the 2017 All-Star Game. You can go find those. And usually, even with, and the rule here is, let's see, I think it is from the first note sung till the last note played or sung. So it's like whatever instrumental ends. And anytime you see that, it's under 2 minutes. I'm going under 120.5 seconds here. I think it's going to be a good one.
That's a good one.
Under 20 and a half.
120
and a half.
So 2 minutes and half a second, basically.
Okay. National anthem.
So 2 minutes is a winner. 2:01 is a loser.
Under 120 and a half. All right. And my last bet, I will actually go to football. I will go to the game itself. And I'm not going to mess with any spreads. I am just going to go straight up Chiefs money line. I believe that I'm going to go against what I did last year. Last year, I took the 49ers to win it all. I took the more talented roster, and that did not work out. The Chiefs are Thanos, man. They are inevitable. They got all the Infinity Stones. They just snap their fingers, and boom, here comes the flag out of nowhere. 15-yard phantom call. Again, they got the coaching advantage. They got the quarterback advantage. Those two things to me outweigh or make up the difference of the talent factor that the Eagles have. Very intrigued to see. Again, it's just there's so many different factors in this game where I can't wait to see what happens because I want to see what gives. Like, is it as Suk was saying, like, is it the Eagles able to stop them in the red zone and being able to make the Chiefs have to settle for 3 instead of 7? Is it a matter of Jalen Hurts? Is he going to have the game of his life and ball out and have over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns like he did in the Super Bowl 2 years ago? I just can't wait to see what happens in this game, but I do believe the Chiefs pull it out in a very close, great game. Absolute classic Chiefs money line for my last bet.
Joe, no. Do not fall trap to this Vegas sportsbook odds trap here because it is a 1-point spread. That's a pick 'em. You're saying that you want the worse odds, minus 117, instead of saying Kansas City will win by 1, which is the only point total that you could win by. You're getting minus 105 odds to do that. So do not pick the money line. Pick Kansas City minus 1 here. You're literally losing 12 whatevers of juice if you pick the straight up money line, at least as it's being bet right now. So that's a bad trap.
That is going to be the first time that someone scores half a point. And of course it's going to happen to the Chiefs.
It's going to be the Chiefs.
No,
and
they're
going to win 27.5 to 27.
I've done the same thing that you've done, and I've caught myself being an idiot. I just wanted to hey, no, PSA guys, don't do that to yourselves.
No, you're
costing your own
absolutely
money.
right. You are absolutely right, Jordan, that when it's that close, I will not actually be betting any money today.
Okay,
so,
well, that's put something down, man.
I hear you. I should not be a coward on this one.
I'm really torn because my heart is saying, man,
Go see a doctor.
Go with the Eagles. My brain is telling me, man, the Chiefs are going to win this game because they're the Chiefs and because they have the referees and they have the world, kind of at their, beckoning call. So I don't know, man. But if the Chiefs are Thanos, then I think Saquon can be Iron Man. He was the one that eventually kind of, brought Thanos to his knees. So
and then died.
So maybe this is all we see from the Chiefs. But I want to go ahead.
The Eagles cease to exist after this game.
I want to go ahead and say I'm going for the underdog. So I'm pulling for the Eagles. I'm not, to win straight up. Obviously, they're the one, like I said, a 1-point game. That's a pick 'em. Like you can really go either way. That's how.
Yeah, DraftKings still has it at 1.5.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's
I'm on Bovada, and they're at 1, and ESPN Bet.
Well, sir, that is illegal, and you will be seeing the
either way.
authorities.
You're talking 1-2 points. You're talking a possession. You're talking a field goal. You're talking. It's going to be a matter of inches, in this game, and I think that's how it's going to go. But I think the Eagles have enough to make it happen today, so I'm going with the Eagles.
Well, I strongly disagree.
Of course you do.
For the sake of my life, my football fan, very well could be the worst month of my football fandom with the Buckeyes winning and the Eagles winning.
In an Eagles shirt.
Adidas shirt with an eagle on it.
Philadelphia Eagles logo.
Jordan, last bet.
I got to go Saquon here. Philly's going to be feeding both Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley as far as running the ball. It's one of their best offensive tools. The Chiefs' run defense has been good, but coming into the postseason, not so good. They gave up 150 yards to the Texans in the divisional round, about 150 to the Bills. I think Saquon, his over-under rushing total is 111.5. I say he hits the over there. It's probably going to be closer than people think, but like I said, they're going to be feeding him the ball. So Saquon over 111.5 yards.
All right. Those are our final bets. I'm going with God being thanked first by the Super Bowl MVP, Orange Gatorade bath, and Chiefs money line. Rashad, Dallas Goedert over 49.5 receiving yards. Taylor Swift over 6.5 appearances, and Eagles money line. And Jordan Schultz, Kansas City -1. Jordan, I will give you the half if you want it. That doesn't even do anything for you.
Well, no, that makes it worse.
I know.
I was like, no. No, don't give me the half.
National anthem under 120.5 seconds, and Saquon 111.5 rushing yards. We wrap up the show, the Super Bowl Sunday Football Sunday show, next here on 1080 The Fan.
Time is ticking away. Don't let another
Sports Sunday with Rashad and Joe on Portland's Sports Leader, 1080 The Fan.
All right. The final waning moments of the final football Sunday of the year. Taking a look at our poll questions that were posted earlier. Wings is the GOAT Super Bowl food, according to the voters. 38.9% of the vote. Pizza coming in second at 25.3%. Booze made a comeback and is tied to nachos at 17.9%.
Yeah, I think more and more people are kind of going without drinking a lot of times. So, I think booze is starting to fall slowly off the...
The herb is what the kids like nowadays.
People like,
well, not even that.
Weed and so
smoking
much
that devil's lettuce.
No, it's actually adults that don't want to drink anymore. Like non-alcoholic beverages are becoming cool, and it's like it is the hot thing to have a beer-looking drink.
I like
that's not
my
actually
beer without alcohol.
Pretty much, that's where we're at now.
Who's just drinking beer without alcohol though? Like, because alcohol is not tasty.
I got friends that do that.
Yeah, it has to be. Like, there's,
If you like the taste of beer, but yeah, you can't get all
do
effed up.
do you guys like the taste of beer?
Some,
yeah.
But I know that I'm getting the alcohol part of it too, which is why I like to drink it.
I mean, literally, Miller High Life with those bubbles, like it makes the taste better. Like I love that. Like
you're
champagne
you really
feel.
are. High Life
my
guy.
god!
That's your
And then
favorite.
a good IPA, or a Deschutes Mere Pond is up my alley as well.
I'm an MGD guy. It's been a long time since I've really had like beer at all, but I'm a purist. Like I said, I'm an MGD guy.
Well, you know that MGD is actually just Miller High Life.
That is one of the worst beers of all time.
I disagree.
No, Miller Genuine Draft is literally Miller High Life, but made for a keg because you pasteurize Miller High Life, right, to serve it in the bottle. Miller Genuine Draft is not pasteurized.
We've talked about this. I'm pretty sure that like on multiple lists, MGD shows up as a top 5 worst beer all time.
I don't care what people say. I liked Mickey's too.
Yeah, Miller Genuine Draft shows up as one of the worst, but High Life is always.
You get yourself a Steel Reserve too.
I would do a Steel Reserve. It's gross, but yeah, I would do a Steel Reserve.
Worst rated beers in the world, according to Beer Advocate. Budweiser Select 55.
Well, yeah, that is ass. I've had it.
Natty Light is number 2.
College days, yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to look up genuine. Okay, this one, Miller Genuine Draft at 44.
Yeah, see, no, that's only because it's the non-pasteurized version of the High Life. That's why.
Non-pasteurized.
Well, yeah, no, that's the literal difference. If you look at Miller Genuine Draft and Miller High Life,
I usually hear that term with like milk.
But everything is pasteurized. Otherwise, y'all are going to get sick. There was an Odwalla like outbreak of E. coli back in the day here in the 90s.
Don't get all sciencey with me.
Because of apples falling on the ground, you have to pasteurize everything you consume. Otherwise, some bacteria sneaks in there.
Big science guy,
No,
George Schultz.
I don't drink beer anymore, but if I did, give me a cold MGD.
In the final poll question, who wins Super Bowl LIX? Eagles or Chiefs? Right now, the poll question says Eagles, 51.3%. Chiefs, 48.8%. Final predictions. I am going Chiefs. As I said earlier, 27.5 to 27. Somehow, first time ever, half point. No, I'm going to go Chiefs 27-23. That's what I said earlier in the week. I'm going to stick with my guns.
I'm going Eagles 27-24.
31-28 Chiefs.
31-28. Ain't that about a bitch that the Chiefs don't score more than 30? They scored 30 points once all season, and then the last 2 games of the year,
they would top
score,
it.
Yeah, 32 and 31. They would pull something like that. I will say go Chiefs for the greater good, win, and don't let there be more Eagles fans produced in the.
That's an eagle, right? I don't know.
I don't think Eagles caw. I think they sort of screech. Like
I can't do that. So,
yeah, I think something like that. CHIEFS, go Chiefs. That's all I'm saying. For the greater good. And I hope we get a good halftime show.
I mean,
greatest rapper of all time is going to be performing. So,
well, unless Biggie is back, then I don't know. That's true.
Rashad Taylor, thank you as always.
My guy, always fun.
Jordan Schultz, thank you as always.
Love you guys. Love you all out there. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday.
Should be fun.
Thank you, Dusty. Thank you, Suk, for jumping on for a Segi to talk about the game. And thank you all for listening to our final football Sunday of the season. Bittersweet. Bittersweet.
It's always sad, but we'll be okay.
But we will be back next week at 9 a.m. We will see you then. Peace.
Rob here, taking your meat to a super big hot party? Only one